Hello friends, happy Clue Day! Today is Thursday, October 17th, 2024, and Stephen West Mystery Knit Along Go Dynamo Clue 3 is now out. Avoid the ring light there, but do you see this is only a 4-page clue, including the cover page, which you're seeing, and the second page, which is usually just like pattern notes, like what stitches. So 1 page and like 1 paragraph. This looks like a pretty small clue. I'm sure I'm going to eat those words because I bet it is not short to knit, but the instructions look fairly short. For those of you who might not have been following along, we are knitting Stephen West Mystery Shawl for 2024. And these are my colors and my shawl so far. So clue 1 were these little half circles, and then clue 2 was some brioche and some bubbles. And my colors are Picks Stroll Deep Waters Tonal, which is a blue and purple, Holst Garn Supersoft in the color Damask, which is a purpley pink with some kind of orange hints. And my mohair dare is a peachy, pinky, soft mohair. And all together, that's what they look like. I'm so excited to jump in and see. Oh, did I show you the wrong side? I think I was showing you the wrong side. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the clue. I'm so excited to see where we're going. I've heard a lot of speculations, and now we're going to figure it out. What shape are we going for? Because after clue 3, I feel like we should have a pretty good idea of what this is going to look like. It is 4:36 in the morning. I just woke up at 4 a.m. Looks like the clue dropped about 1 a.m. my time. And I'm going to go get a little bit of work done before I go to work and actually do work they pay me for. And I'll update you when I know what's happening. Remember what I said about eating my words, about the clue looking short? Yeah, I'm eating my words. That didn't take long to figure out either. So here is the start of clue 3. It's these short row wedges, which we are alternating the main color and the contrast color. I'm back to the main color, and we are going to do this all the way across. So it's little short row wedges. I will say, if you are avoiding spoilers, and I know you're not going to see this until I'm done with the clue, but just in case you're knitting either slower or you started late or what have you, I don't watch the video unless I get to a point where I'm like, I don't quite understand that, and then I'll go watch just to make sure I'm doing it right. So I had finished the 2/3 of this part here, and there's a section where you're essentially resolving short rows, but all the pattern says is closing the short row gaps, knit how many ever to close the short row gaps. And in my head, like, that's just knitting because it doesn't say anything different, and the stitch directory doesn't say anything different and how to do that. There's nothing. So like I said, I got 2/3 done, and I saw my short rows gaps. They didn't look terrible, and of course I didn't record and I didn't take a picture, but something in my head, probably my little Steven back here, was like, ooh, you should probably go check that out. And I'm glad that I did, because I ended up having to rip one of the wedges out, and, or really I should say 1/3 of a wedge, because that's a whole wedge. And I re-picked up the stitches. Luckily, it's not a lot of stitches. I think it's like 16 or 17 at the widest part. So it wasn't a lot, but it was maybe 10 minutes of work. And watch the video. I will say It's important to go watch the video for that, but make sure to watch the video for how to resolve short rows in this section and this section because it's not the same. So now that I have that down, I have a pretty good understanding. And quite honestly, I know I've been avoiding spoilers, but I think I will look at spoilers this time because, well, actually I'm going to double check the pattern and make sure that there's nothing after this. But if it's just this short row wedge section, then I'm not too worried about spoilers because I have a good idea just with this little bit how it's going to look all across the bottom of the shawl. It does look really cool. I can't wait to get a little bit more done to where you can actually see, because look at what a short little section of the actual shawl that we've knit across so far. Yeah, this is going to take a while. Speaking of taking a while, the person who makes the spreadsheets, in fact, let me tell you again her name because she deserves all the credit. Where'd it go? Backstage Cat Knits, which if you're looking at the Clue 3 No Spoilers thread is post number 5. That is how on the ball she is. She updated the spreadsheet so fast. And let me tell you what this thing says. It says that for Clue 3, we are knitting 24,110 stitches. That doesn't include ripping back. So, you know, I've had to knit a few extra, but that's my own fault, I guess. Technically, I would say it's a little bit fault of the pattern because I wish it would have been a little more clear. But yes, to get it complete, 24,110 to finish the clue in 7 days before the next clue comes out, you'll need to knit 3,444 stitches a day, every day. So far this morning, I knit 1,382. So I have a lot more to do, but first I have to go to work and then come home and get some knitting in. So I'd like to know what you think of this border. I assume this is going to be the bottom of our shawl, which must mean we're going to do something different to the top, or maybe this is the top of the shawl. Did we think about that? Who knows? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I will check back in with you when I have another update. Probably when it looks like a little bit more than it does now, but I don't think there's going to be any drastic earth-shattering updates to give you. We'll see. That could always change. I'm home. It was a good work day, and I got a little bit of knitting done before we sat down for dinner, and this is where I'm at. And I know that doesn't look like a lot of progress. Oh, sheep says hi. Anyway, it's not a lot of progress because I've had to frog this section 3 times. I'm finally on the last repeat of this section and it's going okay. I did see a pro tip to use a DPN. I don't happen to have a metal one. I just have a wooden one. Seems to be working fine. But when you use the DPN, it's so much easier because you're not attached and like having to flip things around. So you flip a lot less of the shawl around when you're doing that. But the reason I keep having to frog is that this is just not intuitive to me. It's not hard at all. And I think actually the simplicity is what's causing the problem. But as you know, or maybe you don't, but we are knitting short rows here to make the wedge. And what I was doing was leaving out one of the repeats. And so when I actually finished this whole section once, and I got to this point once, and I had to frog both times because I was not doing enough rows and therefore not taking up enough of the shawl stitches. And I hope I'm on track now, but here's where I'm having the issue is that I don't want to use a stitch marker, which is recommended in the pattern. And so you knit a certain amount, put the stitch marker in, but you're just knitting so few stitches in between that it gets very repetitive and really takes a lot of time to take that marker in and out literally thousands of times. So I was trying to do it without, and then I was kind of losing my place, and I don't know. I need to come up with a better solution. I did see that a lot of people were putting repeat markers every so often, and they're doing it for the whole repeat, which is great. But my problem is I'm screwing up in between the repeats, and so I guess when I made it to the marker, I would know that I had screwed up for sure, but it wouldn't make sure I'm doing the right amount of rows. So I don't know. I think for now, at least, I need to just continue actually in my Knit Companion app, documenting what row I'm on and using the marker and all the things I don't want to do. It's definitely making this clue take a lot longer than it could. And I think maybe for some people, it's just really a lot more intuitive. So I'm tired of frogging. The frogging is definitely taking more time than putting the marker in and out. So for now, that's what I'm going to do. And I just thought I would share my struggles because I am struggling hard. So now that dinner is done, I'm going to sit here and do a bit of knitting. And maybe if I can quit frogging, I will actually make some progress, and I'll come back on and show you how it's looking. I do like it. Some people were going to do part of their mohair dare in this, but I'm not going to. I like it just with the two colors. And Stephen has says that we will use more of the mohair in Clue 4, or we have the option. Also, he has said that you can knit Clue 4 as long as you want and basically use up as much yarn as you want. So I really think, I'm all tangled up here. I really think we're going to be picking up from this edge. And I know I can't really show you the shawl very well right now, but I think we have to be picking up here and knitting, and then this part will be the bottom, no, the top edge. This will be the top, I think. I don't know. It's all very confusing. Hopefully it will start to make sense soon. A quick check-in. I am ready to call it a night, and I did get a little more knitting done. So let's see, I have finished 5 of the main color and 4 of the contrast color little sections there. And this one's not wanting to show itself, but it's all there. I have not had to frog again, which is great. Any progress forward is good progress. But I am having to use the stitch marker and track everything on my Knit Companion. It has built-in row counters and a kind of highlighter bar, and between all those things I can keep track. So that seems to be what is working for me. If you can just intuitively do it and not do all that, then good for you. I really like how my main color is looking in those little short row sections. It just looks really cool. If it were red, it would look like little flames, red and orange. That'd be really pretty. But not with purple, not for me. So, yep, a little bit of progress. I finished just over 4,000 stitches today, which sure doesn't look like it. And I did knit some of those stitches twice, but they don't count. So that is enough to finish the whole clue in 7 days. I'm really hoping to finish before that. I think going forward, it's going to start going faster. I still have all my ends from Clue 2 to weave in, which aren't a lot, but they're there. And then I have the ends here for Clue 3 so far. And I'm going to continue to have 2 of the contrast color ends per section of that. So it's going to be a lot. I could do the weave in Stephen. I've done it before, but it's not my favorite weave in method. And I've also done the one where it's like you're catching the floats in color work. And I like that better than the weave in Stephen, but I still just prefer weaving in the ends. It's not like my favorite technique to do. I don't mind it, but I don't like that it takes extra time. I just like the way that it looks better. And I know those ends are secure. So I'll get to them eventually. Hopefully I will get this finished in time to weave in all the ends before Clue 4. Anyway, I will check in with you tomorrow. Helps if I hold it right. Yeah. I am definitely not holding it right. Wow, I need to go to bed. I'll check in with you tomorrow. Hello, it is Friday, October 18th. It is day 2 of clue 3, and I just got home from work. Let me see here. I did work on my shawl this morning. Oh, and I'm showing you the wrong side again. So that is what I have done. I have done 13 total triangles, if that's what you want to call them. Wedges, I'm not sure, but 13 of them. I think there's about 40, excuse me, about 40 of them. So I'm making pretty good progress. I wasn't going to check in with you until this evening because I should get a decent chunk of knitting time, although it's going to be interrupted because we are going to go clamming to try our luck for some razor clams tonight. But the reason I wanted to check in, and I keep looking over here because my computer's right here, I saw that there's an update to the spreadsheet for clue 3. And that was because the maker of the spreadsheet had overestimated or over inputted the stitch counts. So I had said before it was like 24,000 some hundred odd stitches. Good news, it's 14,966 stitches, which truly doesn't actually matter to what I'm doing because I'm still knitting the same thing, but I guess it makes me feel a little less overwhelmed about it. So to finish the clue in 7 days, you would need to knit 2,138 stitches a day. I also told you yesterday that I knit over 4,000 stitches, and so in overestimating the total number, also the days numbers were wrong. So actually I knit 3,359 yesterday. This morning, so far today, I've knit 1,446. So we're making progress. I'm going to do some work on it, and since I gave you that update, I may or may not check in with you. Yeah, either tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll give you an update on how much I did get done today. Also, maybe I'll tell you if we caught any razor clams, because it's been a few years since we've gone. And when we first started years ago, my in-laws lived here, and so they're very good at clamming, and they could give us all kinds of tips and tricks. But I'm afraid that I might have forgotten it all, so we'll see if we have any luck or not. Good morning on October 19th. It is Saturday, and here is the progress that I made last night. Not a whole lot. I think I have 16 of the little wedges done, and you can see this section right here. That should be the middle. So I'm getting very close to half done now. A long way to go. And no pictures from clamming last night. We got there and it was like 40-mile-per-hour winds on the beach. We still stuck it out. We tried, but Mr. and Mrs. Stitches 0 and clams 1. We didn't catch a single thing, and quite honestly, it was just miserable. So I think we stuck it out for like an hour. We came home, and after that, I was just exhausted. I did not knit a single stitch after that. Here, this little tiny bit, which I haven't weighed, I'm going to guess it's between 5 and 10 grams, probably closer to 5. That's all I have left of my first ball of the main color. I still have another 100-ish grams. So that, and then this is what I have left so far of the 101 gram ball that I wound up of this. It's kind of deceiving though, because that whole middle is just empty. But anyway, still working on that, and I'm having a nice little pajama day. I'm sure I'm going to have to put on real clothes later and go out and do stuff, but for now, I am brewing a cup of coffee, and I cannot wait to sit on the couch under my heated blanket because, yes, it is that cold on the Oregon coast, and knit away. So I will give you an update when I have one. I do feel like the wedges are going faster, even using the markers. I just feel like the repetitions have helped. So hopefully no more frogging today. One more thing, I forgot. I meant to say, if you have not seen that Stephen West is having his annual birthday sale, it's going on right now. One thing he's doing differently this year, excuse me, is he's offering 30% off on Ravelry, but 35% off on his website. I still haven't decided where I'm going to buy my patterns. I still think Ravelry just because it's so much easier to keep them in my library. But I don't know. I think I'm going to get the 2024 Year of Socks ebook. I'm excited about that. He has some really pretty patterns this year. And it's going till the 22nd, so I should have this up before then. So if you're watching before or on October 22nd, I think it's still going. That's it. I have a quick update for you. I just finished knitting the, oh, and you're seeing the back side again. I just finished knitting the 21st little wedge here, and it is the 11th main color wedge, and this is all the yarn I have left. So maybe a yard left, and that means I will be starting my second and final ball of the main color real soon. And of course, at the end of the clue, I'll update you with how much yarn I used for the clue and how much yarn I have used so far. But I'm very curious. So 21st, I think that puts me just over halfway. And actually, we can check that because there's where it is. Oh, yep. Yeah, we are just like, just to the other side of the middle circle, half circle. So just over halfway. I'm ready to be done knitting these wedges. They are very repetitive and honestly not the most fun to knit. I'm back with another quick knitting update. I've been knitting away on my little wedges, and this is how much I have left to go. I think 2.5 repeats. I don't know if my stitch count is right. It seems like it's working out okay because if I have been keeping track properly on Knit Companion, I have finished 15 of the repeats it tells you to. So yeah, we're getting down to the wire. I am tired of knitting this. It's so repetitive. Honestly, it's boring. It is very pretty, which obviously not as pretty in this light as it can be, but yeah, I'm just so over it. But as over it as I am, I just want to power through. I think we are going to go to the store soon, though, which means I need to put on real clothes, and it's going to impede my knitting time. So I think I'm either going to get this finished tonight or possibly first thing tomorrow morning. But that is the update. Let's see here, just behind you. I have to move you a bit. Maybe I have to move you more than I thought. My progress so far, if it's correct, which I kind of forget sometimes to go back and check it off, but maybe I've knit 6,507 stitches so far today. And overall, of all 3 clues, I'm 95.6% done. So that is what is keeping me motivated to do one more wedge, and 5 more times. Maybe I'll be done. Hello, I'm here with a very late night check-in, Saturday the 19th. It is 10:32 p.m. and if I wouldn't have completely cast off, I would have waited till morning to show you and give you an update, but I just finished the very last stitches and those are over here. So that is all grafted together and looking good, and clue 3 is done. Done, done, done. I'm so excited. It is currently not on the needles at all. I still have a lot of ends to weave in. So what I think I'm going to do tomorrow morning, since I finished this in a good amount of time, I'm going to get all the ends woven in. I will get a picture with the daylight light so that you can really see it, and I'll pop that up on here and give you my final thoughts and how much yarn I've used and all that. But that will come tomorrow. It's too late for that now. There's kind of a shot of what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with this. Do you notice? Okay, so this goes at an angle. So if it were a normal shawl, that would make this, well, no, it could go I don't know. You know what I think? Here's what I think. I think we're doing a wrap. Although I don't really know that wraps usually angle. That would be a shawl. I don't know. I'm so confused, honestly. This is what we have, and I know you can't see the ends well, but each end kind of slopes out. So it could go, yeah, that being like a kind of wavy border, I just feel like that's the bottom. So let's see, let's try it on like this again. So there's our symmetrical half circles again, semicircles, whatever you want to call them. And I mean, it's fairly good size, but it does just seem like a wrap style maybe. I don't know. I'm not very good about wearing shawls or how to wear them. That seems like it would work. I don't know. And yeah, it's clearly not staying. It could also be a scarf, maybe. I'm not sure that it's long enough. Oh, maybe. Could wear it like this. I don't know. There's still a whole other clue coming. But that could work. I guess maybe if you see clue 4 and you don't like clue 4, this could just be like this. That's an idea. I will knit clue 4. I'll knit clue 4 even if I don't enjoy the process because, like I said, I did not enjoy the process of clue 3. I'm so happy to have it off the needles, so much so that I will be happy to weave in the ends because it means that that part is done. I'm rambling. I'll talk to you tomorrow when I have better pictures, better lighting, and more information. Hello, good morning. It is Sunday, October the 20th, and it is about 9:30 in the morning. I spent a good bit of time this morning getting all the ends woven in. And just for proof, there it is, no loose ends. Feeling quite happy about that. There's my pile of proof. Mostly the contrast color. I also had ends from clue 2 that I still had to weave in. So very happy to be all caught up with that. And that means that for clue 4, I am ready to go. I really still don't know. You can see almost all the shawl. I just don't know where clue 4 is going to go. I really think that we are knitting a wrap shape, but like I said last night, this sideways slope corner makes me think that it will be a regular shawl. And if that's the case, that means this would be the top. And my sweatshirt has a hood on it, so it's not wanting to cooperate. Yeah, it's not cooperating, but so yeah, so possibly this could be the inner portion rather than the semicircles, but I really do like how that looks with the semicircles, although this doesn't look bad either. So I don't know, what do you think? I would love to hear what your predictions are for clue 4. We only have a few days left to wait, and soon the mystery will be revealed. I'm so excited, and as much as I did not enjoy knitting clue 3, now that the ends are woven in, I'm super excited. I literally just noticed my damask color for Holst Garn Supersoft is literally the same color as my sweatshirt. So that's cool. Clearly it's a color I like. Let me give you, real quick before I wrap this video up, let me tell you how much yarn I've used so far. So clue 3, I did not bring my colors in, but clue 3 used, where are we, 28.2 grams of my main color, which is Deep Waters, that's the blue, or 130 yards. And the Damask, the mauvey pinky color, that used 16.3 grams or 102 yards. So we used obviously just a little bit less of the contrast color than the main color, and that makes sense because each end ends on a main color. And in total, so far, clues 1 through 3, I've used 114 grams or 527 yards of Deep Waters and 78.7 or 494 yards of Damask. So doing pretty good. I do have 85.6 grams left of my main color, and that is the one that's everything is really hinging on, because I have more than enough of Damask to knit this sucker as big as I possibly can, and that's probably what I will do. Generally, I will knit even more than Stephen calls for on a shawl, just because I love the shawls big, and I also love to use up as much of my yarn as I can. So anyway, that's my Clue 3 wrap up. I'm gonna now take some photos, which I'll insert in here, and hopefully be able to get some better light. But being 9:30 in the morning and I'm looking out my window, it is very overcast and gray. So it will be better light than the middle of the night like last night, but it will not be great. So keep that in mind when you see the colors. They're probably not going to show up as vibrant as they are. I will talk to you soon for Clue 4. Bye.